Tzu Chi Foundation in Taiwan provides various anti-epidemic supplies to fight against the pandemic. A motorbike team works with Tzu Chi Philippines Chapter to deliver relief supplies to the families with disabilities.
歡迎收睇DaAi Headlines，我係 Ruby 我哋一齊睇下今日嘅內容。After the pandemic broke out in mid-May, in order to help Taiwan tide over the severe pandemic difficulties, Tzu Chi Foundation immediately launched the epidemic relief campaign, which includes coordinating channels for vaccine procurement, providing anti-epidemic supplies to frontline workers, offering emergency relief funds to disadvantaged families, and also lending laptops for students to learn at home.
The pandemic broke out one after another. In the face of invisible enemies, frontline police and firefighters silently guard the safety of citizens. But tension was reflected in the demand for epidemic prevention materials.
They work very hard, although it is not disaster relief or there are confirmed COVID cases or not. They need to be there and put on 9 items, including isolation gowns. Every person needs to put on 9 items, so we are definitely aware of their hard work.
Tzu Chi volunteer Cai Xiaowen was born into a firefighter family. She followed her parents' footsteps and has been cultivated in the community for 30 years. Members of the Tzu Chi Police Association, plus Tzu Chi volunteers from the central, southern and eastern regions, nearly 100 people have been running non-stop since mid-May, sending care to frontliners.
These are very heavy because they are made with real stuff.
On this day, 2,850 pieces of protective face shields were donated to the Criminal Investigation Bureau and its various branches in Taipei City.
During our duties of search or arrest, we must go near to our targets, and we have no way to know their health condition beforehand.
The face shields have enforced the protection of the police and firefighters working at Frontline, and the endless supply of the face shields arises from the production line behind the scenes.
Saving lives is a top priority. We are currently working overtime. Later, we need to go out and collect 6 boxes of raw materials.
The number of face shields needed is rushing against the transmission speed of the virus. While at the Xinhua Sports Park in Tainan, volunteers rushed against the weather to complete building the outdoor COVID screening station ahead of schedule.
Although it rained heavily today, volunteers at the construction site still continue to work.
And at Jinxi Abode, volunteers were busy packing boxes of daily supplies.
Because currently it is under the Level 3 epidemic prevention alert, it is actually quite difficult to mobilize volunteers. We also can't gather people. So in fact, purchasing and packaging these epidemic prevention materials have been done by Tzu Chi staff.
Tzu Chi volunteers and staff all over Taiwan are united as one to fight the pandemic. As of May the 30th, the Tzu Chi Foundation has provided 13 screening stations in various counties and cities, and donated a total of more than 950,000 pieces of medical masks, gloves, protective clothing, protective face shields, etc.
As to the problem of vaccines, we are now going through Tzu Chi U.S. headquarters and our team, which plays a very important role in the United Nations, to ask if the WHO can coordinate. Of course, we have also asked our U.S. headquarters to write to the White House to seek help.
In addition to going through various channels to seek the procurement of European and American vaccines, in response to the increasing tight medical burden, Tzu Chi has also built 30 screening stations, purchased 500 pieces of oxygen generators, 600,000 sets of quick screening reagents, and collaborated with an electronics company to donate 1.6 million gloves. And the special education program has been launched simultaneously to support epidemic prevention. Being the strongest support of the current epidemic prevention, this power of love comes from everybody to contribute their efforts.
Since the pandemic outbreak, Tzu Chi Foundation has provided anti-epidemic materials such as protective face shields, gloves, shoe covers, and headgear to police officers, supporting their mission to protect the public.
The popular historic block of Wanhua, Taipei, used to be the starting point for the prosperity of northern Taiwan. Unexpectedly, the coronavirus spread rapidly in the community and became the famous of the media. Many people became afraid of Wanhua.
It seems that Wanhua has always been criticized by everyone. When we went out, my friends were very concerned about Wanhua and asked us to come less. But we can hear that they have a little bit of contempt for this place where we live.
The first screening station set up by government is less than 1 kilometer away from the home of Tzu Chi volunteer Gao Shuhui. She is a native Wanhua resident. After taking prevention measures, she must deliver pandemic prevention materials to the frontline.
I will be scared too, because Wanhua still has some homeless people. I don't know how many of these people used to be and where they are now. We, Tzu volunteers, follow the master's teachings. If we don't send out the supplies, who will? So we must send this love to the Wanhua police station.
Supporting the frontline, Tzu Chi from various places prepare pandemic prevention materials and send them to Xindian and Sanchong Jingsihou. The staff then count each batch of supplies and provided full support even during weekends.
Some of the materials came from Kaohsiung, some were repurchased, and some came from Taichung. Our staff is ready for the delivery at any time, like this Friday. We suddenly received a delivery information that there would be 450 boxes of supplies to come on Saturday. During the severe pandemic, people have to be diverted to work, so only I and a colleague could come to work. The two of us moved and unloaded goods together, and we were quite blessed.
We started very early. Tzu Chi Foundation said that these face shields should be sent to various police stations as soon as possible. In areas where the pandemic is more severe, we have given priority to delivery. So I am very grateful to Kaohsiung volunteers for making these protective face shields to support the Taipei area immediately.
Tzu Chi volunteer Ding Yue's family has 5 relatives who serve in the police sector. As a police family member, she deeply understands the risk of police officers being exposed to the pandemic.
If this protective face shield is given to the police personnel, as its protective effect is quite good, it can protect their health.
We have dealt with people who fell on the side of the road before, but later we learned that this person was a COVID-confirmed patient. So when we perform our duties, our colleagues will be exposed to a high risk of infection. I just tried to put it on. It's very comfortable, and the protection effect is also very good.
Everyone is equal under the virus, and the protection needs to be improved. Taipei Tzu Chi Hospital has set up a vaccine injection point to vaccinate the hardworking police.
Today, after they came here to receive the vaccination, I believe on the one hand, they have protection. On the other hand, they'll have confidence and fearlessness when facing the public.
At the moment of the pandemic, no one can stay out of the situation. Tzu Chi volunteers stabilize themselves and are willing to become a calming force.
Taiwan's rise in coronavirus cases had put many people in isolation or quarantine. When they are feeling sick, they have access to telehealth. They also have community pharmacists to deliver prescribed medicine to their home.
With the rise in confirmed COVID-19 cases in Taiwan, many people are in quarantine or self-isolation. When they have medical needs, a virtual consultation is available.
大概需要1-2个礼拜，它才会慢慢好。OK， 好，那就自己注意一下就好。是，如果眼皮肿到张不开的话，那再跟我们联络。
After the clinical visit, if the patient needs medication, a pharmacist can deliver the medicine to their home.
现在有一位居家检疫的个案需要送药。
Starting from the beginning of 2020, when the novel coronavirus exploded onto the scene, New Taipei City set up a quarantine care center to provide those in isolation support and assistance in their daily needs, which includes medical needs.
I'm the contact person for the new Taipei City Pharmacists Association. We work with approximately 60 pharmacists in the 29 districts of New Taipei City. Patients can take advantage of virtual clinical hours to meet their hospital needs. If medicine is needed, the prescription will be sent to me first. Then, after I look at the list and locate the position of the patients, I'll find the nearest pharmacy to him and ask the pharmacist there to prepare the medicine, deliver, and then teach the patient about the usage.
这位个案的话，他是
This patient has the 3 hypers and takes insulin shots. He's close to our pharmacy, so we will deliver the medicine ourselves. I will contact him shortly.
所以我待会会跟他联系。喂，张先生，你好。
Hello, Mr. Zhang. Sorry to bother you. I'm Dr. Zhen from the pharmacy, and I will be at your house around 11:15 a.m. to deliver your medicine.
你把药送到。
I'm downstairs. Please open the door. You don't have to come out. I'll do a drop-off.
放外面就好了。家里有冰箱吗？有。好，也有胰岛素哦，哈。
Hello, Mr. Zhang. Sorry to bother you again. I was the pharmacist who just delivered the medicine. I want to remind you that because you haven't taken your medication in a while, there are blood pressure medicine and blood sugar medicine. Take care not to mix them up.
With the increase in confirmed COVID cases, medical personnel wear more than just one hat, just to ensure citizens are safe.
The pandemic in the Philippines is still raging. Movie star Ding Dong Dentist has formed a motorbike team, which consists of mostly stuntmen who have no income after the pandemic. The team worked with Tzu Chi to deliver relief supplies to the families in need.
In the warehouse of the Tzu Chi Philippines Chapter, the stock was transporting various materials back and forth. Due to the pandemic outbreak in Manila, Tzu Chi once again launched a relief distribution to help those in need, with a group of riders taking the delivery task.
We are here to deliver the relief goods of Tzu Chi Foundation, who have been invited to support. And thank you so much, Tzu Chi, for inviting us and letting us help to deliver to the persons with disabilities.
This group of riders in uniforms are actually stunts. After outbreak, they lost their jobs. Therefore, a local actor, Ding Dong Dentist, organized a delivery service company to help those who lost their job. Today, they are here to lend a helping hand to those in need.
I am one of Ding Dong's followers on Instagram. I saw that he was looking for a rider, and so I applied.
Naghahanap po siya ng isang rider po at nag-apply po ako.
After mid-April, the pandemic outbreak spread severely in Manila, and the government once again strengthened control policies, causing many disabled families to face food cuts. Tzu Chi volunteers work with delivery riders to personally send love to their home.
I'm a massage therapist at a mall. I lost my job since the pandemic outbreak. I don't have any source of income. My work used to provide our needs and even the studies of my children. Since I lost my job, I have no means of providing our needs. Thank you for Tzu Chi's help.
Thank you so much, Tzu Chi Foundation. The relief goods that you gave us are really big help for us, especially in this time of pandemic and we don't have jobs.
The call of movie actor, coupled with motivation of volunteers and riders, waves into a dense network of love to prevent the virus from destroying our lives.
The Tzu Chi Philippines Liaison Office was set up in 1994, and a week after its establishment, a 7.1 earthquake hit Mindoro, leading Tzu Chi volunteers to begin their first large-scale disaster relief. In the beginning, Tzu Chi's mission was mainly medical care. They set up the first free clinic in Manila in 2006 to help the poor and needy in remote regions. A Work for Relief campaign was then launched after Typhoon Kasana and Typhoon Haiyan hit the Philippines in 2009 and 2013 respectively. This campaign allowed residents to earn money while cleaning up their communities. All these have inspired many local residents to become Tzu Chi volunteers, planting roots in the local scene.
My life is complete in knowing that we work together to save a city.
It's not about what is mine or what is yours. It's about creating opportunities and chances for nurturing people.
Philippines Tzu Chi chapter started with one person's determination.
1994年的9月26号
On September the 26th, 1994, we had 26 volunteers return to Taiwan on a route-finding trip. Then back home, we began with a liaison point, liaison office, and eventually a chapter. Sister Jin Feng, the one who brought me into Tzu Chi, told me Tzu Chi worked hard to get to where it is today. Each step it takes must be taken with caution. Don't stray away from the right straight path.
From Hualien's route-finding trip to returning to Manila and planting seeds to take root, Manuel Zhao's entire family became dedicated in 1995. His 4 children are all involved in Tzu Chi, and among them 2 are lay practitioners.
通常捐钱比较容易，但是
For some, donating money is easier, but donating a son to Tzu Chi is not that common. My children came with me into Tzu Chi, and eventually they became more devoted to it than me. This really is their affinity from their last life. They made a pact to return it.
前世的因缘相约而来的。生行业是这样，我本来那个
Michael was 2 when I was going to leave my business to him, but he didn't want it. He said he wanted to do Tzu Chi every day instead. I feel like my life has been very fulfilled.
已经非常的满足了。
Alfredo Lee, a businessman, thought he lost all happiness in life due to losing his loved ones, but then he found a new direction in life.
我看到上人就一直哭，一直哭，因为感觉
When I saw Master Zheng Yan, I just burst into tears. She is like my second mother, my spiritual mother figure. Master Zheng Yan teaches us 2 things in the world that cannot be delayed. One is being filial to our parents, and another is charity work. I'm unable to physically fulfill filial piety towards my parents as they are no longer with me, but I can practice charity. And doing Tzu Chi, it's like I'm being filial to my parents.
我做慈济也是孝顺我父母。 义工代赈是在
We proposed work for relief for Typhoon Kitsana in 2009. We did it in 3 barangays in Marikina.
举办义工代赈，上人就是坚持说一天要有1万人义工代赈。
The master insisted on having 10,000 people per day for the work for relief. When we asked the master, how will we supervise so many people, as we are all business people and we are used to results that way? Then the master told us, you don't need to supervise them because they are cleaning up their own home. They will work hard on their own. You have to believe in them.
我们就拿着广播，在灾区灾民在工作的时候，跟他们讲说，我们上人说。
So we took those sentiments and spread that information to them. During the work for relief, we told them, Master Zheng Yan believes in you. We aren't going to supervise your work. I felt the Filipinos were very moved when they heard that they were very honored, and that's perhaps why they worked hard at it. It's a blessing in disguise, really. As we got to know Tzu Chi, they have taught us life lessons. This is why I believe that everything Tzu Chi has done for us has left a deep impression in our hearts.
很多病患也不知道我们是谁，就是会叫我们 doctor 这样。
Many times patients don't know that we aren't doctors and we refer to us as doctor. In the beginning, we would correct them and say we aren't doctors. But in the end, when we would comfort them, the patients who came in restless would feel a sense of calm after our interactions.
不耐烦，让我们爱洒之后呢，我们看到他们完全不一样。
It made me realize that though doctors may treat their physical ailments, we help to treat their emotional turmoil. So when they would call us doctor, we ended up just accepting it.
When our destiny calls upon us, then we must take on a task with bravery. When the next generation arises, we need to learn to let go and pass on our knowledge. Whatever the frontline needs, those who are behind the scenes must quickly step up to fulfill that need.
Henry Yunez is the current director of Philippines Tzu Chi Chapter, and his family of 11 have all joined Tzu Chi. During the COVID season, they continue to spread love to all in need.
我们不会害怕吗？当然是会啊，知道有那个危险。
Are we not afraid? Of course we are. And we know there are dangers, but in our mind, if we don't help, then who can?
做上人的弟子，有时候我们也要冒险了，但是冒险。
To be Master Zheng Yan's disciples, sometimes we need to take risks, but we also need to protect ourselves during risk-taking, especially to help those who are poor, those who have no income, because when you're hungry, you are easily angered and impulsive, so we have to be brave. We are thankful there are Tzu Chi volunteers who have come out to help, as they have helped lead the way for others to stand out. It's been very successful.
Using sincerity to motivate the locals, a volunteer's life is immeasurable. Whether the disadvantaged are suffering from sickness or natural disasters, these are all common complications in life to which Tzu Chi will continue to help.
Tzu
Chi's love will continue to spread.
We have built everything from nothing. We started with no volunteers, no donations, and got to where we are today. We must continue on this road with caution to pass on a legacy to the next generation of volunteers.
We can give them a spark of fire, but really the need is that of local volunteers to join. We can plant the seed, but to water and take care of it, we need the help of locals to do so. It's a beacon of compassion where wisdom is passed on to another and hope is there.
In Taiwan, a taxi driver has received Tzu Chi volunteer training to help deliver vegetarian milk boxes to hospitals and police stations for the busy frontliners to enjoy. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you and see you next time.